Welcome back, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, to the super, not funny show, Supercast. The Supercast, where we talk about all things superhero in the pop culture space, and that's TV, movies, video games, and we do news and speculation, all that good nerdy stuff. I am Mo de Poupe, your resident fabricant and comment extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Ladi. Ladi, how you doing this evening?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Can't wait to talk about some of this new Marvel and DC news, man. Can't wait.
Heck yeah, it's a big old news week. It's like everything waits till right after we record to just be like, let's drop 1,000,001 things. And that certainly happened last week. So we're going to do a big old news roundup. In particular, we talk about Sam Jackson choosing violence. And we'll explain what that means. There's a certain parent group that has a problem with the Netflix Marvel shows being on Disney Plus. We're going to tell you why they're wrong. We mark the passing of William Hurt, who played Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross in the MCU. Could Marvel be locking Sam Raimi into some long-term deals? And then we got some talking about new release dates for DC and Marvel properties. And we're going to talk about the trailers and teaser footage that was released for both The Boys and Moon Knight. So, like I said, we got a lot of stuff to cover. So, Lottie, we're just going to jump right in here, all right? So first off, we just at the top, right, this somber news that came over, the various news source sites last night and on Twitter and social media, that William Hurt passed away at the age of 71 after battling prostate cancer, apparently for something like 5 years now. And we last saw him in Black Widow, reprising his role as Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, the constant thorn in the side of Bruce Banner, but also kind of a dick to the Avengers. We remember him in Endgame, in Infinity War, being ignored by Rhodey. So he had a long story career. Again, he was 71 when he passed away. Was an Oscar winner, 3-time Oscar nominated, and if you watched any like serious movies in the last 40 years, you probably saw him in something or even like TV. So I remember him most for he was a supporting character with Rufus Sewell in Dark City, which is a kind of a contemporary to The Matrix back in the late 90s, and of course we all know him from the MCU. So, Lottie, you heard about this unfortunate passing. What's your thoughts on William Hurt, and what did you think this is going to mean for the MCU?
And listen, when I first saw that he passed away, I remember when you sent it to me, I was just like, God, and I was like, dang, dang, he passed away. Damn, may his soul rest in peace. And I've seen him in quite a bit of movies, and just to see that he was just getting, started in the MCU, it's a little bit of a, I don't want to say blow, because he lived a good long life, and I'm not gonna sit here and it's not like you know the man who played T'Challa. I don't know why I always blank on names.
Chadwick
Yeah, it's not
Boseman.
like Chadwick Boseman where we're like, oh man, we never saw this coming. But this is the man, I cannot tell you. He just embodies Thunderbolt Ross. I mean, he just gives off the look, the mustache, the look just of Thunderbolt Ross. And man, may his soul rest in peace. So he was a great actor. Like I said, he's one of those actors I grew up watching. And man,
Yeah,
oh
I mean,
man.
it's a blow, but like you said, he was 71. Now he probably had another decade or two in him. He was definitely still acting even up, like I said, up until Black Widow, as in the MCU. And I also remember him. He was in Dune. He actually played Duke Leto Atreides in the Dune miniseries for Sci-Fi. He was
Hmm.
quite good at it. So just all in all, it's an unfortunate passing. I think the MCU, they could easily recast, but I think there's no reason for them necessarily to. I think they can find another person to sort of fill that role that he plays. It was always nice to see him. He was one of those characters who showed up in various things to sort of keep the glue that holds the MCU together as far as everyone sort of interacting. So, but rest in peace to William Hurt. So Sam Jackson, he's he is among other things. He's been a very prolific actor, been in many things. But of course we all know him as Nick Fury in the MCU. And you know what? The man can speak his mind. He speaks his mind because he can. Because he's at the IDGAF. He's at that point in his career. He's a name, and he can show up, and anyone would be happy to have him in their films. But he was asked, in a interview, asked about, what's up with all of these directors shit talking comic book movies. When he was on The View, and he said, um, it's easy for directors. Or no, I'm just paraphrasing it because I'm quoting an article. It's easy for directors to talk crap only because people aren't going to see their movies. So, uh, Sam Jackson choosing violence when it comes to talking about these directors who decided to make some hay by shitting on superhero movies and MCU and all that stuff. Um, so Lottie, he went for him. What do you think?
Let's just say this was very tamed of Sam Jackson. Usually, this man would be like, "This- "See, the motherfuckers is just pissed off that nobody wants to watch their damn sorry ass movies." That's just that's what we I was that's what Sam Jackson wanted to say, but he was being very kind. If the person in the interview would have said what he would say, say what again? Say what again? But Sam Jackson was being very calm and very nice to in this interview. But he has a point. I mean, I'm just I've talked about this with multiple of my friends is that we as an audience has grown more intelligent. We're not that audience that it's easy to captivate us. And this goes for Marvel movies too. Like it's not like every superhero movie sells gangbusters. We just did a whole episode of why we felt that Eternals was not didn't do as well as it should have done. It's because you just can't get us to watch your movies because something's exploding and people are dying or because you got a big name actor in it. You have to make us start thinking. You have to make our mind start you have to make us you have to captivate us not just with dazzling things. You actually have to capture our minds. And these directors don't want to do that because a lot of these directors grew up in they're around your age or a little bit older than
Oh
you. They
my! No,
grew up
most
in
most of these directors are actually like my grandpa. They're
well, yeah,
they're at
yeah,
set in their 70s. And the thing about them, all those directors we're talking about, they're all like masters of the craft. That's the thing is I don't want I want to put too fine a point on it. Martin Scorsese is one of the greatest directors that has ever lived.
yeah.
But the fact that he's shitting on superhero movies, he that still sucks that he's doing that. But let's not let's be real. This guy, he's one of the one of the greats. Um, and they have very compelling storytelling. The problem is it's not that they're not good at telling stories or that the movies they make aren't good. It's that they're not widely appealing. And that's what Sam Jack said. Again, I'm going to quote again. Um, he says, if somebody has more butts on seats, it just means your audience is not as broad. There are people who have had successful careers, but nobody can recite one line of their parts. I'm the guy who says shit that's on a T-shirt. That's what I'm. That's what. And so it's about broad appeal versus smaller appeal, which isn't to mean they're not good movies. I've watched movies that very few people have seen that I
Oh
thought
yeah.
were great, and that's not a the fact that fewer people saw it is not necessarily a function of whether they're good versus whether they appeal to a lot of people. And you know, I guess he's just been like, yeah, stop being so damn salty, y'all. Stop being so damn salty.
I mean, it's see the thing about it is a lot of these directors, the superhero comic book genre is not just Superman, Batman, Captain America, Spider Man. There's people in it like Sandman, Moon Knight, um, like I said, Hit Monkey. There's crazy things in the Marvel that I know, but I can't think of the top of my head. That I was just talking. I was just remember like what's her name is what's that woman's name? She Hulk. She Hulk. Yeah, she's a super powered being, but her daily job is being a lawyer. I mean, not a lawyer. She's an
No,
attorney, right?
she's a lawyer. So
She's a lawyer. I mean, she can body. I mean, she's probably body slamming people inside of the courtroom, but at the same time, she's a lawyer. And there's so many things where it's like, just look what DC did with the Joker. There was there was one explosion, but it wasn't like the Joker was like blowing things up, having cars flipping around all the place. They made a blockbuster movie telling the backstory
right.
of a Joker character.
Now, ironically, too, Martin Scorsese was involved in the early stages of that movie.
Exactly.
He didn't stick around, but he was involved in the early stages of that. So, but Sam Jackson he's just telling it like it is. And like I said, choosing violence because he can, because he's that guy.
Uh-huh.
All right, so we talked about how Netflix lost the Marvel shows, Punisher, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, and Iron Fist, and that Disney Plus announced that, and I think as of tomorrow, you can in fact watch all of those things on Disney Plus, and they were going to roll out some parental protection and all that stuff, just basically to make it so that rated MA stuff can only be accessed by certain people if you want that to happen at your house, right? So that's the general idea of what happened. Well, can you imagine, Lottie, that there's some people that aren't happy about this? And no, they're not DC fanboys or Snyderverse stands or anything like that. It's actually a parents TV media group or whatever. So I don't
Jesus.
the Parents Television and Media Council, aka the Karen and Kevin caring too much about some shit that they need to not be bothered about. That's, I mean, essentially, it's, and these, I remember, people like this back when I was a teenager, saying what shouldn't be sold and what shouldn't be available to kids and so forth and so on. And they're really damn annoying. But essentially, what they say, I'm not going to quote all their stuff because, you know, it's a press release. Who the hell wants to read all that shit? The
Hmm.
gist of it is that they're like, we're hella disappointed that Disney has decided to tarnish their family friendly image by putting this MA stuff onto Disney Plus, and they're going to do irreparable harm and just destroy their brand because the Marvel Netflix stuff is on there. Now, I would like to ask them first. What if? They're. I mean, they're really talking about putting MA and R-rated stuff on there, which I would note that there's already R-rated stuff on Disney Plus.
Exactly.
There already is. I mean, they say it's wildly off brand. Okay, sure, I guess. But it I think I get where they're coming from. That they're just like, man, I want to be able to park my kid in front of a TV without having to think about whether or not they're seeing things that I don't want them to see. But these are also the same motherfuckers that got upset about. I don't know if these people in particular, but they are of the type of people who got upset about, you know, uh, Brian Tyree Henry portraying, a happily married gay couple within
Mm.
Eternals, or any of that sort of stuff, like stuff they just don't want their kids to see. So they're making a big stink about this. Disney doesn't give a fuck. I just want to reinforce they don't care, because it's not going to affect their subscriber base significantly at all. But it does, kind of raise a point about, you know, are they tarnishing their brand? Is this a real problem? And should they actually bow to this criticism and just like keep the TVMA stuff on somewhere else? So what do you think, Ladi?
Fuck no. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
But
Come
but
on.
won't you think of the kids? The kids.
It's easy. It's called make a kids version of Disney Plus. Every streaming service
Disney
has
Plus.
it.
I'm gonna say Disney Plus is already that. All they're saying is, all right, we're gonna make it just like every other fucking streaming service.
Every other streaming service.
In which you can just be like, here's a kid account and here's a regular person.
Exactly. And put a password on your account so your kid can't get on it. God.
But Lottie,
Parents
why
just-
don't you think of the children? Disney has always been wholesome and never had anything questionable or that kids shouldn't watch ever. I mean, right? I mean, they didn't have racist crows that were caricaturing black people, did they? Back in Dumbo. I mean,
Exactly.
that's good wholesome entertainment right there. Or
Exactly.
Song of the South, where they're showcasing how great the South was when during Jim Crow and slavery times. That's wholesome, but we can't have the kids even know that there exists Jessica Jones, or Luke Cage. We can't let them know that, but they can watch that other stuff.
Exactly.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, it's such a. This is why if I was like I said, when you asked, I was like, fuck no, let's stop this. It's like saying Google shouldn't connect the what's it called? It shouldn't, like when Google became a search engine, you shouldn't be allowed to look up porn on Google. I mean, hey, it's Google. They're gonna be able to look it up. It's just, you know what I mean?
That's I don't know if that's quite the same, but I think.
But it's even goes back to the whole video game thing where back in the 90s and the early 2000s, I know you remember this, where they were like literally trying to get rated M games banned because they're like, we don't want our kids playing these games. Then be a fucking parent and make sure they don't play the damn game, you asshole.
Yeah.
Don't make everybody suffer because you're a terrible parent.
Well, I also wanted to. I did want to finally quote something they said, mainly because it shows how fucking dumb these people are. It's not dumb; they're more attention seeking and trying to grab by sounding, by being ridiculous. So here's their ridiculous thing. They said it seems wildly off brand for Disney Plus to add TVMA and R-rated programming to this platform, ostensibly to increase subscription revenue, which, by the way, that isn't the reason why they did that. So they're wrong about that. So what comes next? Adding live striptease performances in Fantasyland at Disney World. You know what? That's the sort of fucking dumb reasoning, the stupid thought processes that these sorts of people out because they can't argue honestly. They can't present a case honestly because they go from since you put rated R things on there, which by the way, rated R can be for many different things, but the R rating doesn't necessarily mean all the same thing are represented. But whatever. Oh, you put an R-rated thing like Logan on to Disney Plus. Next thing you know, there's going to be strippers at Disney World. That is not even the connection between point A and point B. There is no connection there. There's like so many steps between those two things existing, and that's because these people can't argue. They can't present their case honestly in a way because if all they said was, "Oh man," if they actually explained it the way it actually is, they would sound like they're Karens and Kens who are wasting our fucking time. Because what's actually happening is there's going to be R-rated stuff just like on every other streaming platform. And on every other streaming platform, you have the power to lock people out of shit. It's just that simple. They're advocating essentially for Disney to have to censor or whatever themselves because the parents can't be fucking bothered. And that's no. I'm sorry. No, I am not sorry. You guys are wrong, and you're idiots, and no, that's why no one's gonna fucking listen to you, especially not Disney. They don't, because they're like, why am I wasting my time on that? Here's your tool. If you want to, it's just like any other movie or whatever. If you don't want your kid to see this movie, don't let them see it. You have a way to stop them from doing it. Hate people like this, and I hate I don't want to say hate, but I really, really dislike and have no respect for parent groups like this because parent your own fucking kid. Yes. Let me parent mine, right? And get the hell out of my business and get out of Disney's business.
These are the type of people that swear.
If you don't like it, just don't get fucking Disney Plus and don't cry about not having access to streaming access to Disney stuff. Go buy every single individual piece of content. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
these are the kind of people that swear. Like they swear they know how to raise somebody else's kid, even though their kids are terrible people.
Well, I mean, they're bound to be because they look at their fucking parents. So anyway, screw those guys. And also Disney, keep doing what you're doing. Bring us more bring us more of that Marvel Netflix stuff. We're down with it. I didn't mean to get on a soapbox about that, but screw those guys.
Yeah, please. Yeah, screw them.
All right, so let's move on to some casting news. Just a couple of quick ones. And Secret Invasion, they actually are in the middle of filming now. I've seen some of the, behind the scenes footage and pictures and whatever. Super excited for that. We got Sam Jackson returning. Emilia Clarke is going to be in there. We also have Ben Mendelsohn coming back as Talos, and Academy Award winner Olivia Colman is going to be. I'm not sure who she's supposed to be, but I have an idea about who she's going to be. But also, we just learned that Martin Freeman is going to be in Secret Invasion. That's because Sam Jackson was, because he don't give a fuck. Can we establish that? He doesn't care. You know how Marvel... No, usually Marvel, Disney will send out their hit squad on anybody accidentally leaking anything. But I mean, Sam Jackson, like, I don't give a fuck. He's just literally just like, I'm Sam motherfucking Jackson.
At this point,
I'll leak this entire motherfucking show right now.
Sam Jackson is pretty much almost at the untouchable when it comes to Marvel, because if you get rid of him as Nick Fury, I really feel like some people will have a hard time watching a Marvel movie with him not being Nick Fury anymore. And it's funny. It's like you said, he pretty much he can get away with it. Yeah. Like you said, motherfucker, I can. You gonna tell me I can't leak shit? I'll leak this whole damn movie.
I'll tell everybody the entire plot of this show. Guess what? It's some scrolls in this bitch. Yeah, and we tell them to get the fuck out of here. Anyway.
And he's not like, I'm not in that movie. Oh no, I'm definitely not in it.
He's like,
Yes, you are.
he's gonna be like, it's like, what country you from? You, it's like, Wakanda. They speak English in Wakanda. Okay, anyway, they actually do speak English in Wakanda, among many other languages. But yeah, he let slip that Martin Freeman was going to show up, so he's going to be Everett Ross again. That makes all the sense in the world, actually, because Secret Invasion. I mean, if you guys don't know, it's a storyline about Skrulls infiltrating all levels of society and government, including superheroes, and they kidnap and then take their place, and so a bunch of people are Skrulls that we don't know are Skrulls. Which, by the way, remember I told you that Peacemaker basically did that. That they kind of did, but in this case, it makes all the sense in the world that Martin Freeman, who was a CIA operative,
Mhm.
would need to get involved in. I would say is the greatest intelligence breach in the history of mankind. Well, where they've replaced superheroes and all that. I mean, you thought Shield getting taken down from the inside by Hydra was some bullshit. Wait until you see the Skrulls literally infiltrating every government in the world. Placing super Skrulls all over the place. Yeah, not very good. So I think that makes a lot of sense. And I actually want to see him back anyway before um, Black Panther 2. I think actually he may not. He may actually be in Wakanda forever before he's in. Yeah, he may actually be in that before we see him in this. So anyway, Lottie, Martin Freeman's back. What you think?
I loved him in the original Black Panther. I just love that little scene where he's like trying to act like the cocky American. His energy bouncing off the characters was very well. And that little part, of course, with him at the end keeping the ships from leaving to drop off the weapons. It was he did a very good job, and I'm excited to see him in the next movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just to highlight, it's one of those things that is just like, of course, the Black Panther is a movie that's predominantly about black characters, and it's if it's about a movie about a country in Africa, and he's the cocky American that eventually humbles himself and goes like, oh shoot, uh, these Wakandans are actually for real, the for real deal. You know what I mean? It's
Hmm.
just it's cool. You know what I mean? I can't wait to see what more this character has in store for us.
Yeah. I think the only other person that if they said they were going to be in Secret Invasion that I would be even more like hell yeah would be Agent Jimmy Woo, who we last saw in WandaVision. I mean, he does work for the FBI. Why couldn't they bring him in? I'm just saying, why
Yep.
not? But we'll find. Hopefully, they'll say that in the future. So that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing Martin Freeman in that. So we also the other bit of casting news is that they have cast the character of Carrie Kelley for the CW's Gotham Knights. So we didn't talk about this. They because we don't watch the CW really. We really
No,
don't. So,
no.
but it's always cool that hey, they're going strong. They've got a bunch of shows going right now, and so they announced that they were going to do the Gotham Knights show, which is if I mean you and I know that Gotham Knights is essentially all of the Batman and adjacent superhero characters. That's not not Batman, but Batman adjacent. So Robin and like Spoiler and Batgirl and all of them. Um, so they're doing that, and they've announced the main characters, and then they just announced who's going to be playing the character of Kelley, who Carrie Kelley, if you've seen the Dark Knight Returns, she's this red haired young white girl who just she idolizes Batman, and she becomes his Robin. Um, and also they dropped her into the regular DC universe because Dark Knight Returns is the future. They dropped her into the regular universe, and she's another Robin essentially. And so
Okay.
They cast a young lady named Navia Robinson. Um, let's see if make sure I'm saying the right thing. Navia. Um, did I say that right? Navia Robinson.
Let me check.
Oscar. Olivia. I'm saying other people. Oliver Rose Keegan and Oscar Morgan are the other people that are being um, cast. So Oscar Morgan, he's going to be Bruce Wayne's adopted son. Um, Rose Keegan, Oliver Rose Keegan is going to be Duella, who I think is Harvey Dent's daughter or something like that. And I saw Via Robinson appears is going to in fact be Carrie Kelley. So it's like I said, she's Robin. um, so like I said, we don't really do CW stuff, but you might be like, well, Mo, then why are you talking about this at all? Because I think I think one thing you may notice on this show is we like to call people out when they're being stupid, and so I just want to say that this is I guess this will be a thing we do on the show, but it's neckbeard alert, or like I want to call it nerd beard alert. The nerd beards got triggered. Nerd beards are triggered. Surprise. They're triggered because how dare they? How dare those wokesters over at DC and CW cast a not white woman or a white girl to be Carrie Kelley? How dare they race swap?
Oh my god! I thought they were about to be mad that it was a woman in general, but
No, I mean,
they
they knew
were.
it's supposed to be, but yeah. How dare they? That that Carrie Kelley is supposed to be a pale white, freckly, red-haired girl, but instead we're gonna get a light-skinned black girl. It's wokeness. It's SJWs and wokeness gone run amok. I mean, can you just hear you can hear their buttholes puckering up at the very thought of having to look at a young black woman being in the Robin suit. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? I
Yes,
can hear that. It's like the crinkling of Cheetos bags. Just the way it's
but
just puckering up so hard. You know what?
I remember. S- I remember I had this like someone talked about this with me, and they're like talking about like race swapping, and it was like, has it ever happened to a black character? And I said yes, and they were like, to who? I said, did you know X-23 was originally a black girl? He was like, no, no. I said, yeah, yes, she was. When she first appeared
Oh yeah,
in anything Marvel,
in the animated show. Yeah.
she was a black girl. And in one little spin-off comic, she was a black girl.
Hmm.
But they decided from now on to make her an Asian. Nobody got mad about that. But you know what I mean? It's like I told them it happens a lot. Sometimes they race swap people. I mean, it is
And
what it is. That
and
doesn't
and and,
matter.
and here's the truth. There's a ton of white people in TV and movies. I mean a lot. Like
Yes.
over representation like a motherfucker. Like so. Oh no, you lose one character. However, will you live with having 85% of all the rest of the fucking characters? Oh no, you lost one. You're right. Nerd beards, you are 100% right. You're losing everything because one fucking character
'Cause let's
is
be
swapped.
honest, though. Let's be honest. Batman, the story of Batman is very white. It is like probably the whitest comic book main comic book iteration of them all, because I think even Superman, even back in the day, had black characters around him. What? But Batman, I'm really trying to really think of a black character in the
I mean,
Batman comic books.
Lucius Fox, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
besides Lucius, and he doesn't appear that he appears a lot in when Batman was younger in the original stuff, but more and more he doesn't appear as much as he does. You know what I mean? Lucius Fox is a character that it's like he's more of a side character than part of the main characters.
Yeah.
Every single person that is involved with Batman is white. It's
Now
about
they got like Batwing, you know, they got the African guy who's sort of inspired to be like Batman, and of course there are some non-white, you know, villainous characters, and that's and to be honest, I'm not sitting up here trying to play like, oh, let's count up each one and see if there's I'm not worried about
yeah,
that. My thing is they decided to go this way because you know otherwise why would they have just a all white? I'm just gonna say this right now. You really, unless you can justify it within the story, they are not gonna cast any story on any kind of network or whatever with all white people. It's just not going to happen. It has got to be
yes, yeah,
justified within the story. It's got to be about Norwegians and only Norwegians, you know, or it's got to be a situation where the story dictates that there's no not white people in it. That's the only
yeah.
way it works. And it doesn't matter if it's a it doesn't matter that the original author wrote it to look a certain way. It doesn't matter. No, they are going to, you know, diversify the cast because that's not the world we live in right now. That's not the era we're in. You know.
And plus, it's good for the characters in the story too. Like, like I said, Batman. I mean, it's not like I'm sitting here saying we should make Robin black or this stuff,
But
but it will
even if
add.
they did, why? I mean, even if they did
Why
make
not?
Robin,
It should. It will add more to Batman's character because Batman is the definition of white privilege. To have a character that doesn't look like him and doesn't have the same background, especially if Robin wasn't just just a circus guy. Like if there was a Robin that was from the hood in Gotham City, it will open Batman's eyes to a whole new way of living. He
right?
just thought he was just like good example. Batman believes in like there's probably certain Batmans that think, oh, certain drug dealers and all these jokes are pieces of shit. But what's his name is like, you just beat up my damn dad, or you
Right.
just beat up this dude who's, you know what I mean? You
Right.
just fuck this one dude up. Yeah, he sells drugs, but he actually does help our community. You know what I mean?
I was. I'm sure that's. I mean, these are stories that can be told, and Batwoman's sort of like that too. You know, the first Batwoman in the CW was white, and then she left, and then the new one's black. You know, so there's other ways to tell the stories, but you know, is it important that Carrie Kelley be white? And I'm serious. Like, is it actually important that she's white? And if you can't say yes, it's integral to her character. If all you're saying, well, that's the way they drew her originally, and that's the way I see her, yes. But if she was black, does anything about her story change? Yes, some particular small aspects of it, but I don't think that, as far as I remember from the Dark Knight Returns, she didn't have to be white. She could have been Asian or something like that. Just so happens she was because, surprise, surprise, the cultural, prerogatives or cultural prejudices actually exists. But anyway, we kind of dwelled on this a bit. The point is, neckbeard trigger alert.
Yep.
Y'all, you know what? Unclench your buttholes. It's gonna be all right. Just trust me. Um, Speaking of directors, so we know Multiverse of Madness is coming up, and Marvel is rumored to be trying to lock Sam Raimi down for, at least for I've heard, not Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange 3, and maybe some other stuff. Trying to get involved in more Marvel. I wonder.
Other stuff, huh?
Well, you know, my question. This is a rumor, so we're not like this isn't like set in stone. But yeah, you have to wonder. You know, could they be looking at Sam Raimi the way that DC is sort of looking at James Gunn right now, or Matt Reeves? Because Matt Reeves and James Gunn kind of have the checkbook to do some other stuff that they want to do. You think maybe that's what the way they're turning? And also, does this mean that they are really high on Multiverse of Madness? You know, this are they looking at Multiverse of Madness? Oh, that's a $2 billion film. We already know that. We want more of that. Yeah, what do you think?
I hope so. I mean, listen, if there is a possibility that I can get a Spider-Man 4, just the incy bit possibility, I'm down for it. And just Sam Raimi has he he's the person who made superhero movies cool again. We all should thank Sam Raimi and give him a bow because he's the one who made, who showed that a movie doesn't have to be cheesy. We don't have to have a superhero movie that is not a Batman movie and it has to be cheesy. Because let's just be honest, when we grew up, in the 80s and the 90s, if it wasn't a Batman movie, they were cheesy. Every single superhero thing was cheesy. Sam Raimi showed you could create an epic story that you can feel every emotion that the character is feeling from the comic book. You see their struggle, to see them live as a regular person, to see them as struggling to be a hero and to deal with their regular life. He showed that this is a blueprint that can be copied multiple times over. And now Disney has become a media giant because of it, you know?
Yeah.
And they should lock him down because I already know this multiversal. The trailer has me fucking going crazy for it.
Yeah, and I think I do wonder if they are looking at him like that because having a vision that spills over into the Marvel TV side of things, uh, I think Peacemaker probably has indicated that there needs to be a lot more. Um, I don't want to call it direction, but a lot more freedom given to filmmakers to sort of work their magic, if you will.
Yeah,
I love Marvel stuff. The there can I think and sometimes you can see the hand of the Marvel brain trust more than you can in other situations. And I think on the TV side, I think they're a lot more tightly controlling what's going on, for better or for worse. And so maybe this is an opportunity to sort of let the reins go just a little bit and allow Sam Raimi to work his magic. So I
and
hope
spread
it's
his wings.
honestly. I don't know. I don't want to say lock him in, but like, hey, if they want to get him for like two more films and then like to help executive produce or produce a TV show or two, hell yeah. And not only that, y'all need to be doing that. Marvel, y'all need to be doing that for every one of your people. Like John Watts is close to that because he went directly from No Way Home to going to Fantastic Four. So John Watts is already sort of there, and I would like to see them, sort of, find a. They can. I don't think they can do that with James Gunn because DC's giving them way too much freedom. But keep doing something like that. We need more vision. Is that a good way to say it? We need a lot more vision, not just Kevin Feige vision, but a way that certain people can execute the Marvel vision in the
Yeah,
with their own little their own little flavor. I need to see
yeah,
a little more of that. I
yeah.
think.
And that's good. It will keep things from getting stale.
Yeah, I think so. So we'll see. It's a rumor. We'll check it out and see if that's true or not in the coming months. Oh, we got to talk about release dates. The what the hell DC release date update. Didn't we just see a little thing that said, "Ooh, look at all this shit coming in 2022"? Right? Look at these four movies we're gonna see in 2022, and then a week later they're like, "About that, about that." So, all right, here let's just get on with the bullshit. Um, what is it? Black Adam moves into October. So it was gonna be a
Hmm.
July July 29th, I think. Now it moves into to October. League of Super Pets, which I'm really looking forward to, moves to where Black Adam was. Um, but something kind of cool is that we were supposed to get Shazam 2 next year, but they moved it up to December of this year. In fact, it comes out a week before Avatar 2 because apparently DC just loves to handicap their fucking movies. And get in their way. I don't know why anyone would want to be coming out around Avatar 2, but okay. So we get those two. So those are the only two DCEU movies we are getting this year. And then they have moved Aquaman. And I understand this is to do with some problems with CGI or whatever, but they've moved Aquaman to next to next year. Was it? Let's see. It is going to 2023, not 2023. Yes, and so is the Flash. So that kind of sucks. Yeah, that really kind of sucks, right? It's going. Aquaman 2 is going to be March 17th, and then Flash is 2023. So the Flash can't seem to get fucking released. Aquaman, I don't even know what
Does that
that's
movie
about.
even exist?
I mean,
This
we've
is the
seen footage of it. It exists. They just, yeah,
God dang March, June of holy
yeah. So
shit.
more than a year. By. It's been delayed. Well
This
into.
movie's almost a meme at this point.
I mean, it is a meme at this point. We don't believe that it's ever actually gonna show up, but I believe it's gonna show up. I'm just like, come on, it's come on, DC. You put out the Batman, right? You put out Peacemaker. You put out the Batman. You were on a win streak, and then you got to go shit the bed like this. Come on. It's like, I feel the pain of DC fans. You
Yeah.
really every time they look like they're gonna get a few, get a couple wins down, and then they're just like, now let's fuck everything up.
Time to drop the ball.
Snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
That was a victory. They're like, wait, Batman, great movie. Everybody's like, wait, where's the next DC movie? Where's the next DC movie after which one's coming out again?
That's it. What's the next DC movie after the Batman? League of Super Pets. Just and what here and mind you, I want to watch the DC League of Super Pets. I am looking forward to it. I want to see that movie. But most other people are not going out of the Batman thinking the next thing I want to see is Kevin Hart being Batman's dog. It's not the thinking coming out of there. They want to see more cool stuff, in the DCEU, and you get none of it. At least until you don't get any until October. So, way to let the wind out of the sails there, y'all.
Yeah, man. They're probably, like I said, they're like, everybody's like, oh my God, we can't wait. And then just, DC, just get your shit together. Get an actual plan and have this stuff. I mean, James Gunn back is broken. He can't keep carrying y'all motherfuckers, man.
Yep. So I don't know. That sucks. That's why that's all I'm gonna say. It sucked. The only good thing that came out of that was that they moved up Shazam too. So, hey, I know what I'm doing for Christmas.
Yep.
All right. So those are all the release stuff. So now we finally got into the main event on this rather long episode of the Supercast. We got new Moon Knight footage. New footage. Courtesy of USA Today, and I'm sure it's other places had it. And Ladi, god dang it! I mean, I'm just saying, I am ready for Moon Knight. I was ready for it with the last trailer, but I had to watch this, and I'm like, god dang it! How dare you guys do that? That Moon Knight's not coming out for another few weeks. Like y'all really teasing way too much right now. There's a lot of supernatural shit going on here. This is it looks like there's a lot of high adventure stuff. It's fucking Oscar Isaac. He's doing like some cool looking shit in there. That suit looks awesome. Ethan Hawke looks like a fucking cult leader, but he has actual magical powers. There's some, Khonshu shows up. What the hell else do you need? Is my question. But The only thing is that nobody fucking knows who Moon Knight is unless you're a comic book fan. So I think this is going to be a test for the MCU. And we're constantly. This is Phase 4 seems to be all about the testing this thesis, which is it doesn't matter if you don't know who the hell this character is. Marvel's going to make you like them. And so far, they've been sort of wrong about the Eternals, but most everything else, they've been pretty much on point. Yeah. And so, Ladi, you saw this footage. I mean, did they need to show this to get you to show up? But more importantly, is this going to get more other people to show up that not us that are dialed into this?
I'm gonna just say this right now. Marvel fans, Disney has people brainwashed of Marvel. I mean, there's already people talking about Moon Knight, and they don't even really know who he is because we are now, is like you said, conditioned to watch Moon Knight. Not to watch whatever Disney puts out because we want to know what is going on now. It's not just enough for it just to be cool, just to be like, okay, we'll just wait for the movies. People now want to know what's going on because they somewhat rewarded us who watch What If with what we're seeing. I mean, of course, we know that's not the evil Doctor Strange, but it's showing that they're making this stuff a part of the actual story. And it's not just What If, it's the other ones too, to where Moon Knight is going to appear. Hopefully, who knows? He maybe in Blade. Just fingers crossed.
Oh my God. I think one of the things that I'm looking forward to about this is that they are, besides Wanda and Doctor Strange, they're showing more of the mystical, supernatural dark side of the MCU, and that naturally that leads us to, among other things, the Dark Knight, the Black Knight from the Eternals, Werewolf by Night, and Blade. So make a straight line to all between all of these, or you can connect all dots between all of those. Hopefully we'll get the Midnight Suns or something like that. I thought the footage looked really cool. And I'm looking forward to it. We got like a couple weeks. It's gonna be on. The other bit of footage, we got a teaser trailer, a long-awaited teaser trailer, because they kind of probably a week ago, and they teased us with that The Boys Diabolical, and I was just like, I can't wait till season 3 comes out. And then they're like, oh, you can't wait, huh? Well, how about a teaser trailer? And I'm like, you had me at teaser. I was ready to see it. And god dang it, this thing didn't disappoint. This trailer's so damn good. I had to watch it in slow motion because so much shit is happening in this thing. Ladi, what did you think about the trailer?
Man, first of all, motherfucker got powers now? I mean... And I think you're right. I think he's getting Homelander's powers, and then we're seeing that A-Train, I guess, is having a change of heart a little bit. He's helping out social activist groups.
I looked at that again. I'm gonna tell you something. I think that's a commercial. I think that is footage from a commercial because you saw he pulled out that little energy drink or something like that. I looked closer at it and I was like, that looks like a staged commercial.
It might be, but then you got what's the name? Obviously, he's upset with him, like really upset with him, Homelander, and Homelander, of course, is jealous with this. I just love Homelander's just outrageous jealousy, and it's a Soldier Boy, and he's just like, this motherfucker wants to steal my spotlight.
Let's talk about Soldier Boy. You talk about, like, Chris Evans should be calling his lawyer and be like, I feel like I need to sue about this because these motherfuckers are doing me.
Yeah, he looks just like him.
They're like, They made, I mean, like down to that little shield. Like he smacked the shit out of that dude and flew and launched him in the air. And
Yep.
I'm like, Chris Evans, you better, shit, Marvel, y'all need to call them and be like, hey, y'all, we know what you're doing. That's, I mean, you may as well put an A on his chest for real. Yeah, he was. That Soldier Boy looks like he looks raw. He looks like
Yeah.
he looks like the Captain America that we saw in the Ultimate Marvel universe. And in the Ultimate Marvel universe, he's like this. I mean, he's a product of his time. He's like super brutal, conservative, and like just kind of an asshole. And that's what he looks. He looks like. Man, that Soldier Boy shit is just crazy looking. Um, there's a bunch of like highlighting the commercialism of Vought because you saw that little boy band, or you think that's like Soups that's a boy group, like a BTS for superheroes or something like that. It's just like nutty stuff like that. Not to mention all the fucking blood and guts that are in this thing.
Yep.
Like I went back and I slowed it down to 25% because I just wanted to see what the hell was going on. A lot of things were flashing by. I think remember the representative that was blowing up heads.
Yep.
They don't know she's a soup. I think she killed at least one person in the trailer. But we also had, and I think I told you that when I texted you about this. There looks like there's some kind of Ant-Man, sort of person that explodes out of another person. So they're going there. They're really going there with this show. There's blood and guts, and everyone's sort of in danger. But remember, at the end of the last season, Hugh and the group, they are no longer underground. They're sort of pardoned, if you will, and they kind of have Homelander at bay. But do they really though?
I mean, remember the little Fox News commercial that they had? Fox News thing that they had, Amazon did, with Huey asking questions, and the guy's like, "How dare you talk so bad about the great company Vought?" He's like, "I'm not talking bad about the." Yes, you are.
This is. I think this is promising. What are we? Who the fuck are we kidding? We know this shit is about to be like super, and I can't even say lit. Lit is just like it's not hard enough. It's gonna be like just hardcore and badass. And
And this is really good for. This is good for us though, honestly, because Amazon Prime is putting pressure on Disney, which is good for us. More pressure, more competition equals better movies, better TV shows. Because let's just be honest, Marvel, what's it called? Got some shit too. Amazon got some superhero shit too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's everyone says that Marvel, Disney's rivals HBO because their thing with DC. But I'm gonna be honest, their rivals also Amazon too. Amazon Prime with Invincible and the boys, and I'm pretty sure.
They have by the way, they have that boy spinoff. Not Diabolical. They have they have a spinoff coming too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then also, I'm pretty sure after if season 2, which I'm 100% sure it is, if season 2 of Invincible does well, I'm very sure that they will do a spinoff or some other stuff of Invincible as well to make us go like, damn, this story is just crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I thought it was a great trailer. I'm excited for the new season. God dang it, why is it coming in June? Like, how dare you show me this trailer for something I can't have for like another 3.5 months? How dare you, Amazon? Lucky I like it. So it was great. I think we really enjoyed it. So anyway, that's all of our news. That's like I said, huge news day, and so we had a ton to talk about. Surprisingly, we may have actually missed something that you think we could have covered. If we did so, you know what to do. Get down to the comment section and let us know about that, or let us know your thoughts about these, all of these news items and what you thought about our comments. Of course, you can always hit us up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter, so we can chop it up, talk about all these things. While you are in the clicking mood, why don't you get down there, hit that subscribe button, join the Super Not Funny Show family. We'd appreciate that. And of course, you can always hit the notification bell. It will let you know when we drop new content. We do reviews, and of course, we do various podcasts. So, check all that stuff out. And of course, I can't do this show alone. My good friend Ladi, he's always helps me out with his insight and knowledge. So, Ladi, where can they find you on social media?
Oh yeah, you can always find me on my Instagram, which has actually been blowing up for the last couple of last week and a half. Put out 2 videos that went viral for some reason. I don't know why. I guess
People
Instagram
like
thinks
you,
my
man.
stuff. So keep your eyes tuned for that. There's more content coming soon, I promise. Also, you can also find me on my YouTube channel playing Elden Ring. Surprisingly, not raging as much as I thought I would on Elden Ring. I'm very calm playing it, but who knows? Maybe one day I might blow up. So pretty sure to catch the streams so you can laugh at me while I die just mercilessly to these enemies.
Yeah, you guys go check all of that out. Like, subscribe, show Lottie some love. All right, all you Fabricants and Fleshbags, thanks for joining us on this extra long version of the Supercast, episode 42. Come back next week. Got plenty more to talk about, lots more, because this train keeps on rolling. So, all right, we'll see you then. Until then, I've been Mode Poupe, your resident fabricant and comic extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Lottie. We'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.
Peace.